hesitate. It's who you are, it's meant to be. I trusted you, but now I'm free. Without a clue, we look to you. We try to behave, we try to be true. You've shown me dark, you've shown me light, but in the end, we don't know who is right. I fall again. It don't matter how or when. And I've seen the light, but I walked away. I'm feeling nothing, in fact I'm feeling great. I don't want to die, but now I can wait. I've heard it before, it's nothing that new. I live now for me, and I don't live for fall again. It don't matter how or when. And I've seen the light, but I walked away. Just walking
with those.
Let's do it.
And I wanted to match this shirt to it.
Okay.
You know, just a plain clem shirt.
Basic Hanes shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Hello,
favorite
hello,
cardigan.
hello.
My favorite cardigan of all time.
Wow. That is annoying. Hello. Check, check. We'll just check if I'm getting going here and do some updates. As you can see, I am not where I normally am. I have sold the condo in some temporary living stuff. Sorry, it's not stuff, situation. Bleh. Okay, so we're live on Kick, we're live on Twitch, we're live on Facebook. The only thing I left out this time is YouTube live and sometimes Instagram live. TikTok live is coming. We'll just do a quick check, make sure audio is working. Yep, it is. Okay, so guess some quick updates. First off, it's been a while, hasn't it? You are now on what I like to call the microphone camera. So you are attached to my microphone. Ooh, it's like a microphone GoPro. So was not supposed to happen at all. This is not supposed to happen at all. See? Got all my gear finally back up, but still working through the kinks, as you can see. Don't believe me? Check this out. Just picked this up from Spirit Halloween. Betelgeuse. And as you can see, I'm into Mars Attacks. One would say I'm into pop culture, you could say. So, man, I feel like it's been forever, hasn't it? Boy, that's annoying on the side, hey? So I started streaming not really knowing what I'm going to do about this kind of thing. Just wanted to get out there and just take a risk, you know? I mean, it's got to start somewhere, you know? It has to start somewhere. It has to start sometime. Rage was certainly right about that. Let's start off with that today is my mom's birthday. So happy birthday, Joanne. Joe. Some of you know her. 64 and just gets younger. Gets smarter with age. My mom's a saint. So, I mean, everybody thinks their mom's a saint. But you've heard it from many other people that have met my mom. So happy birthday, Mom. Thank you so much. Oh, thanks, Dan. Dan from Intonal. If you remember Intonal, Dan says happy birthday. He was the bass player. So thanks, Dan. Yeah. Oh, well, Dan. I'm sure she's been to a couple of our shows. Back in the day, maybe Stetson, definitely Airdrie. Maybe I just never introduced you, and I'm a fucking idiot. I apologize. As you know, back then, and still now, yeah, exactly, many moons ago. But hey, we did it, and we go back, man. On that, yeah, the Stetson is now a car wash. Great. You know what? We played so many, like, not just like Intonal, but so many other bands I know played the Stetson. And like Shy Sugar, was it Shy Sugar? We were supposed to play with. Man, so many legendary bands played there. And it was a decent venue. Like the sound was good from what I remember. At least compared to some of the bars I played across Canada and the US, right? Like, so yeah. Some quick updates. This will be a short stream, obviously, because I don't have my regular stuff. Yeah, Shy Sugar. Yeah, exactly. You know what? Was Scott Whelan in that? Quite a few bands. I think we played with another band, 1900. Harvey was in it. Harvey Warren. And JD, rest in peace, JD. He would play the guitar for Biff Naked after that. Poor guy. I was talking to Dave Brooks about that recently. And right before he went into surgery, he's texted me how, he's scared. He didn't want to do it. I said, go for it, JD. Like, your technology nowadays, it's, you got to at least try and save yourself. And unfortunately, he passed away the next day. So that really sucks. I went to their benefit show at Cowboys, One Heart for JD. You worked with Harvey at Axe. No shit. You know what? He's still in town, and I've actually been meaning to play a show with him recently, and or soon. His new band, shout out Atomic Era. They're called The Atomic Era. Go check them out. He's still doing it, man, and he's still a phenomenal drummer. And he's recording too, apparently. I worked with him at Hotels Live when I worked at the Delta Calgary South location. So yeah, he's still around, and yeah, so that's happening. So let's see. Happy birthday, Mom. Another update. We'll just jump into it. Might as well. So I've been okay. People don't believe me, but there's been many meetings. Yeah, that's right. Harvey played with Motley Crue. He filled in for Tommy. That's right. There's video of that. He has shared it. Man. To fill in for Tommy. Are you kidding me? That's insane. Like I wish. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying earlier is I've been really busy with not just the move, which is done. Yeah, exactly, legend. It's done. It's over with. Sell everything. As I'm sure you noticed, the market is nuts right now. So I had to jump on that shit. Yeah, what a relief. It's over. But right after that, jumped into the YYC Music Awards, jumped into a doctored show, we're not finished. I have one more song. I'm probably going to go live for that. We have one more song for Doctored that I'm going to record, and that's about it. So, man, just don't stop. Like, you ever feel like as you get older, it's harder to keep up? You have like zero time to relax, or maybe it's just the way I have it set up in my life. I don't know. I have ADHD. I try to keep that shit going. Damn, I'm looking tired. Do I look tired? I shouldn't be. I actually slept in today like till 8 or 9. No, at 8:30. 8:30. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway. Yeah, ADHD. Oh, thanks, Dan. Dan, you're a sweetheart, man. Like, also phenomenal bass player. I don't know why. I get along with bass players the best because they're groove, man. Like the bass players, they got the fingers that, especially finger players. Man, I have such respect for finger players. Richard and Doctored, he's really good. He's really good as well. And finger players are, wow, it takes a certain breed to do that. They don't get enough credit, in my opinion. Especially because you have to be really tight with the drums, like the percussion. Like, it's very important, in my opinion. Just my opinion. So let me get to a screen share. Why not? Let me just set this up. So I believe they posted this. Oh, you know what? I should try and see if I can share with you They just released a video on the YYC Music Awards. Is it Nash Productions? Which production company was that? But they just released a video. It was a quick highlight. It was really cool. There it is. Nash Productions. It was. Okay, I'm going to share this with you. Let me pause it. I'm going to share this with you because it's so cool. Let me see. Okay. Share screen. All right. You can see what I'm seeing. I'm going to pause the chat for a second just so I can share this with you. So as you can see, this is the video here. There's no full screen view. Okay. It's well done. It's a well done video. So this is just a small example of all the work that is like been done. I can comment as this video is going on. So where do I start? So many of you may or may not know that I am on the board for the YYC Music Awards. And we try to set it up kind of like Calgary's version and area version of the Grammy Awards in recognition of music and all things music related. And I try not to butcher this. Sorry, Steph, on the board. So, okay. I'm going to comment on this video as it's going on. So, I'm the director of production. So, what happens there that night, in order of what happens, in how it happens, that night I'm pretty much in charge, including everything that goes wrong behind the scenes you do not see. Just kidding. Nothing went wrong. Just a couple of sacrifices, whatever. Just joking. So early on, maybe middle. Damn, that's a cool logo. Nash, well done. So throughout the year, I have these meetings with the YYC Music Awards. Since I'm on the board, we go through the nominees. We go through basically everything. We vote on things. Sorry, my apologies. So the awards this year, the type of we had to vote on a design for the awards, as you saw. We don't get to vote on who wins the awards. And even I don't believe the nominees either. We might have an input on the nominees, but the winners are chosen by a board, a separate board, cast of judges that it makes it completely non-biased, basically. It makes it so that you like if we got to choose our favorites, I don't really see that being as fair. So we send our nominees over to a cast that is, I think, there's some in Toronto, it's across the country. And these are industry professionals. These are promoters, bookers, they are talent buyers, they are musicians themselves, they are bar owners, they are pretty much all end of the spectrum for music. And they comment, they do their research, they pretty much, oh, there's the awards. They're beautiful this year. Big triangle. So they basically decide the final, the winners and, who gets to win, because again, completely unbiased. There's me. But as far as the performers go, we on the board do have an input on that, who performs, especially me, because I have to set up. It's my job to basically set up all those bands, make sure they got what they need to perform at the Grey Eagle Casino, and it's also up to me to make sure that we have all the gear, all the team, the stagehands, the proper equipment, the techs needed, the volunteers needed. Thank you so much to our volunteers this year, by the way. We had a numerous amount of people willing to help out as stagehands, willing to help out with everything, really. Guides, setting up equipment, everything. So that we've been really fortunate. And I'm just going to zoom in a little bit more. No, I cannot. It just goes into like a full screen mode. So anyway, that's backstage. So we had the nominees, we had the winners. Winners aren't chosen by us. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to be a winner to be able to perform. We still want to see who we want to see perform, who we believe deserve the limelight a bit. That's backstage. That's Sloan and Siren. It's me and our two presenters this year, Tatus and Caitlin. That's Siren, I believe, on stage. That's Esteban and his wife. That's Lisette. Lisette is our presenter. She was amazing. She talks, introduces the crowd, tells the story of the YYC music, a little bit, background on what's going to happen, kind of like the transition from presenter to presenter and the transition from show to, what's happening exactly. Because this type of show is so much more complicated than an actual, like just a music show. You know what I mean? There's video elements. There's recognition of all genres. There's several different setups. There's several. So this year we had, I believe it was 34 artists technically. We had, because Esteban for example, just one example, Esteban's crew is about 9 members, and they all like contribute a large factor to his music. And Brother Bicker Band, they're 7 members. Cool band, by the way. Brother Bicker Band, they were the nicest. I got to give the nicest to them. I will just say all of them were professional and nice, but Brother Bicker Band, shout out. You guys were great. Very cooperative and willing to be team. All of them were. So I'm very fortunate in my job as far as that goes, like meeting new musicians and working with them, because I want to make their show the best possible, right? Like, obviously we have to share the stage. This year we were very fortunate to be sponsored by Steinway. Steinway donated one of their large grand pianos. I won't give the value tag on it, but it was really, really expensive. So that grand piano back there, we had to share the stage with. But as you could see, well worth it. Like, it looked amazing. Like, live, it looked amazing, looked professional, and it sounded amazing. I got to give a shout out to Grey Eagle's staff and their techs, because they know their stuff so much that things can get complicated during sound check, and they still can adapt to almost anything I've thrown at them for stage plots, for gear, for whatever the bands send me. It's amazing. Yeah. On that note, thank you so much to all the volunteers. Thank you so much to the YYC board. Thank you so much to all the bands that were willing to work with me. Like, the hardest part is deciding how to make the bands, like, I'm kind of the middle person, I would say. How do I work with the band to make their show the best and what they want and they're happy with, versus what's doable to the actual structure of the show at the Grey Eagle? So that's like a problem solving type of method that people don't really know behind the scenes. Like, every setup is different. Like, for example, Siren, they had their wall projection on the LED screen, which is awesome. And in order to do that, we had to dance around a few inputs, a few different ways to make that happen. But in the end, we got their video, as you could see on the screen in the background for them. And they're much happier. Jenny Harlock, just had her name and whatever. Thank you. And Esteban. And so, but in the end, it works, I try to make that pleasable for every band and that performs there. So much high emotions too when people win their awards. I'm a fan of like the Grammys, the Oscars, and shows like that because they deserve recognition, and that's pretty much why I do it. Is I've been involved in this music scene for like over 20 years now, so although I don't have one on my wall myself, it brings me great joy to see all the bands get to be shown, like really, and work with them still, keep my face fresh. So if you want some help or would like to be a part of it, keep in contact, because that's what it's about, right? Keeping in contact. So in closing for this, let's see, okay, in closing for this, that DJ Jin song here, DJ Jin song, we did have to get a separate PA system. That was Rob Cernowski. He won Industry Person of the Year. I worked for Rob at Hotels Live a long time ago, so there's no bias in that. I had no influence on that. So he earned it. He won it himself, and the guy was just amazing. As well, been in it forever. So DJ Jin song, we got his own PA out in the lobby this year for people to hear, which we'll probably do again next year. Similar setup. So that's that. That was the YYC Music Awards, and yeah, it was awesome. So that was that. That was a big, man. That was a big PA system. Oops, that was Rob Cernowski. He won industry. Man, that was a big PA system. Oh, Dan, what'd you guess? It takes chess. Yeah, that's an intonal show. 11 and go. No, higher, Dan. Higher. That's all I'll say. But anyway, that's that. So we were working with that, and then of course we had let's look up Doctored. I would like to shout out Paul Husband for giving us a wonderful show at the Blocks Art Center. And I would also like to thank the Blocks Art Center for having us. The sound there was great. Fall of Earth, they're on tour right now. Got to go check them out. That was Thursday night. So for Thursday night, super fun. It's good to dig back into the performing scene. And see, if you go to our page, Doctored page here, you can see I did a live video just to kind of get an idea of what we sound like. We are very good. Yeah, so that's fun. That was super fun. I told you before that we are finishing up EP number 2. We need more content out there. It's as simple as that. So once I'm done recording, the band and I have been chatting. We need to get on a music video. We need to start doing this kind of streaming more. And then we also need to start making more content, because this world is drastically seeking more, asking for more and more and more content. And you know what? Yeah, they are pricey, Dan. Steinways are super pricey. Worth it though. Jeff was blown away by the piano too. When we got it there, it was also pricey to get it in. Because we work on a Sunday, and Sundays are not business hours. So, but you know what? Well worth it, because Steinway really stepped up. The artists really enjoyed it. It wasn't just for Esteban performing. It was for Lisette performed during the Memoriam video, which I'm so glad we had. Yeah, pricey to maintain. We also had Lisette. She performed during the Memoriam video, and that was new, at least as far as I can tell, this year. So we honored our fallen comrades. I shouldn't say that. Our fallen musicians this year. And I believe it's important to realize, that we do have a lot of legendary musicians that contribute a lot to the scene here that die and go without, go without people recognizing that they've contributed so much. So I'm really glad we got to do that this year. And that's just one aspect. You know what I mean? That's just one aspect that we go through. So there was that, the show, the doctored show. We have some more things coming up besides just content, doctored. It's so hard not to spill the beans but when you, as I'm sure a lot of people understand, NDAs involved, and you don't want to spoil it for promotion and for other mechanics behind the scene. And you know what? Do you know what I take pride in? Honestly, I don't spill the beans about specifics, and I would normally be worried about that. But I watched a lot of John Campea, and to be honest, as left and as PC as he may seem, or SGW or whatever you want to call it, he did go to school. Believe he has his law degree. So whenever I'm worried about talking and saying too much, which is pretty much the point of a podcast or a stream or whatever, you're supposed to just blah, 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 and talk, give content. When I'm ever worried about saying too much, I think about how he speaks and what he gives for specifics, because he's very careful and very strategic in what he says. So you can give hints, but you can't give out total confirmations of what's happening. Anyway, I went on a little tangent about that, but for those of you that do care, yes, we are making more content. We are on the hunt for a videographer willing to work with us. We have some concepts ready. Once we finish our second EP, we'll be looking into that. So Nate Trash, I might be looking at you, bro. I'm going to probably be hitting you up because you're getting into that a lot. See, for example, one of the ways I'm willing to work with other musicians and work with collab. Two, there are a lot of resources that I have, obviously, from YYC Music Awards. But it's important to get second opinions, just like your doctor, and get shop around, right? Shop around. You need to do what's best for you, not what's best for what other people say you have to do, unless you're with management and then you just go with whatever the fuck they tell you. So management is next. That brings us to next. We've worked with many different promoters, talent buyers. I have quite a bit of relationship with many other people involved in the music industry that I'm willing to help as well. And so I am asking politely, just kidding, for those two things, management, because booking is difficult nowadays, especially with venues you hear constantly being closed down, and it can be tough. So video and management is probably next, because I feel like you need help, and you have to admit that. Especially with bands, it is a lot of who you know, but it's also what you're willing to do to help, right? So on that note, everyone who attended the YYC Music Awards, thank you. Your recognition means the world to me. Like, every single one of you I've watched as anybody else has. And if I could kind of bring someone up in the spotlight, I definitely will. On that note, though, I'm willing to work production for other companies. I'm willing to help out bands, boost them, work together. Like, that's the only way you could fucking do better, is working together, not try to be competition. Honestly, if you asked me several years ago, there's a couple of projects I've been in where I've noticed other bands working with the same people, similar ideas, not want to use the word copy, but kind of. And I used to get a little bit frustrated at that, being a noob. I was like, well, I thought of this original idea, and now this band just goes ahead and copies it and then tries to make it look better, their own or whatever. But honestly, that's bullshit. You gotta work together. You gotta realize that if you're getting that kind of attention and other bands are trying your ideas, you're doing something right. And that's the bottom line. Honestly, you should not feel jealous at all. It means they've seen what you're doing. They got their eyes on you, and they are admiring what you're doing. And they're just taking that and running with it too, because they want to be cool too. They want to do well. We're all looking for that extra source, and I've done it too. We're all guilty of it, right? Inspiration comes from anywhere. So I believe we should use it. Exactly. Imitation is the highest form of flattery. Exactly. It used to bother me, Dan. Every time I saw someone work with a photographer that I have, or I see a concept that I came up with, and I'm like, what are you doing? It used to bother me, but as you get seasoned in this, you go, wow, okay, that band and that artist is making the right move, because they saw what I did, and obviously they think that looked cool, right? Or that worked for them. So, yeah, you get over it pretty quick, especially when you start to see a lot of that. And again, it just means that it opens the door for you to work with someone else. You can't be closed-minded to that kind of thing. So anyway, I went a lot longer than I intended. So, I'll do my closing here. Thank you so much for being patient. As you can see, I'm still getting set up with things. You can see my Mars Attacks bed in the background. Trying to have some props, have a cool background, whatever. But you know what? I'm just here to chat. and share stories. And I would love to share your stories as well. Like, join me. Let's make this a hangout, you know? Dan, thank you so much for commenting and like catching up, dude. I really appreciate that. That's Dan Cole Elliott, by the way. He's the bass player for Intonal, previous project I was in. Phenomenal bass player. Been doing great lately from what I've seen. Love you too, D-Rock. Aw, dude, such a sweet guy. And we go back. We will have to catch up soon in person, I believe, if I can get some friggin' time away from life. Anyway, let's make this a hangout. Comment. Don't be afraid. Who cares? Like, really, who cares? The internet has you anyway. They got your face on your phone. Like, some people are afraid, like, to pop in, comment, whatever. But honestly, I'm looking at it through a lens of I'm grateful to even have technology to do this. And you know what? YOLO, right? Anyway, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I hope you're doing what you're doing. This has been the diagnosis for the evening. Go ahead and slay this week. Take 2 of these and call me in the morning. Kohler, diagnosed.